Hey viewers, you're watching the Savera and I'm Vidhi Joshi. The ongoing conflict between the Trump administration and Harvard University centers on a series of punitive actions by the administration targeting the university's policies, particularly its handling of international student enrollment and campus issues like anti-Semitism, hostility prejudice, or discrimination against Jews and diversity programs. In a recent development, a U.S. federal judge on Friday temporarily restrained the Donald Trump administration from revoking Harvard University's ability to enroll international students, a policy imposed on the elite institution the day before. In its complaint, Harvard called the revocation a blatant violation of the Constitution and federal laws and said that the ban would have an immediate and devastating effect on the university and its international students. The tussle between the Trump administration and Harvard began after Harvard President Alan M. Garber told the administration in April that the university would not accept demands to change its hiring and admission practices and its curriculum. Notably, in a letter dated May 22, the Department of Homeland Security told Harvard that its student and exchange visitor program SCVP certification had been revoked, effective immediately. SCVP certification, which is issued by the DHS, Demographic Health Survey, allows colleges and universities in the US to enroll international students on F1, M1 and J1 student visas. An F1 visa is required for international students to attend an academic institution such as a high school or college, while an M1 visa is for students in vocational and technical training programs at recognized schools. A J1 visa is needed for exchange program students. Without SCVP certification, institutions cannot issue Form I-20, which serves as a proof of enrollment and is necessary for visitors to maintain student status. Why was Harvard's SCVP certification revoked? The DHS letter accused Harvard of perpetuating an unsafe campus environment for Jews, promoting pro-Hamas sympathizers, and employing racial diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. While sharing the letter on X, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem accused the university of also coordinating with the Chinese Communist Party on its campus. She wrote, "It is a privilege, not a right, for universities to enroll foreign students. They have lost their SCVP certification as a result of their failure to adhere to the law. Let this serve as a warning to all the universities and academic institutions across the nation." The DHS letter gave Harvard 72 hours to comply with 6 stringent conditions for its SCVP certification to be restored. These 6 stringent conditions include the university must provide records if illegal, violent, threatening, or rights-depriving activities by the non-immigrant students, plus disciplinary record and protest footage, within 72 hours to regain SCVP certification. How would this affect Harvard's foreign students? The move to block enrollment of overseas students affects 6,793 international students who are currently studying at Harvard. If the restraining order were to be lifted, these students will have to find places to study at other universities in the US or risk having to leave the nation. Typically, F1 students have 60 days and J1 students 30 days to leave the US after completing their studies. However, if their student status is terminated due to violation, they may have to leave immediately. In Harvard's case, it's unclear how much time international students would be given to transfer or depart. The revocation of the SCVP certification also means that the DHS responsible for reviewing visa application could deny a visa to a student who says they are planning to study at Harvard. How would this affect Harvard? International students are a major revenue source for American universities, including Harvard, as they do not receive federal and pay higher tuition fees. For instance, most overseas students at Harvard pay full tuition, which is $56,550 for the 2024-2025 academic year, either by making direct payments or visa scholarships. Housing, food, and other mandatory fees amount to an additional $26,316 per student, meaning Harvard makes a sum of $82,866 per year from overseas students. Why is the Trump administration targeting Harvard? The Trump administration has targeted not just Harvard, but also several other elite universities, including Brown University, Cornell University, and Columbia University. This came after President Donald Trump signed an executive order in March on campus free speech, which he deemed a historic action to defend American students and American values that have been under siege on campuses. The trigger for the executive order was a protest movement against Israel's war in Gaza that swept college campuses around the country in 2024. Trump cited the alleged harassment of Jewish students as justification for federal intervention. However, the Trump administration's hostility with universities has deeper roots and is not tied to the conflict in Gaza alone. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.